Good evening. Welcome to Conversations with My Gardener. I'm your host, Neil Wadley, and this is my gardener.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Fine. Yourself?
Well, thank you. How's your day been?
Good enough.
Your name is Ron, right?
Yes. Ron. And yours is Neil.
What did you do last night, Ron?
You mean after the show?
Yes, of course.
Well, my wife and I ate dinner while we watched Netflix.
And how was that? Then what did you do?
That's it. Watched TV. Ate. Went to bed.
Do you ever do anything but watch TV?
Like, ever? I do this show. I mow your lawn.
Have you weeded the flower beds like I asked 3 days ago?
I've only got 2 hands. I can't do everything all at once.
How's the weather going to be tomorrow, do you think?
I don't know. It's been fine outside. I guess it'll be fine tomorrow. What do you think?
You're probably right. But it could rain.
I suppose so. I don't think it will.
Neither do I. Well, thank you for being here tonight, Ron.
My pleasure. See you tomorrow night. Certainly.
And we'll see all of you tomorrow night. I'm Neil Wadley, and you've been watching Conversations with My Gardener. Are we clear? Yes? Great. Well, Fred, great show. Where are you off to tonight?
Esmeralda and I are going to the Wendell Smart Art exhibit.
Ah, yes. Dung sculpture.
Well, his earlier stuff, yes. But the last year or two, he's been doing some really extraordinary stuff with compost. Esmeralda loves his work. Of course, since our 1967 Corvette Stingray convertible was destroyed in that attempt we made to jump the Snake River Canyon, we're trying some alternative transportation.
Taking the bus?
No. Baboons. We have 12 baboons hitched to a sleigh that we constructed from barrel staves and roller skates we found at a yard sale.
Neil, before you go home, I want to know what you've decided about our conversation yesterday.
No, Elizabeth, I do not see any need to change the format of the show.
The format of the show is not the problem. A real gardener, that's all I ask. Why can't we use a real gardener?
Well, Elizabeth, I don't know any real gardeners. Even if I did, that would make a show called Conversations with My Gardener and this other guy who's a gardener. That doesn't make any sense.
Why do you hate me, Elizabeth?
Do you want me to find you a real gardener, Neil? Can I do that for you?
That's a very good question, Elizabeth. Why do you hate Fred?
I'll get you a gardener, Neil. I'll get you a real gardener for tomorrow's show.
She acts like I've done something, but I've never been anything but sweet.
Fred's done some gardening.
No, I haven't.
What about that squash you gave me and Lorraine last summer?
I found it.
Thank you for coming in, Mr. Blop. So, you're a gardener?
I just want to make one thing perfectly clear at the outset. I am not a prostitute.
Are you a gardener?
I have never at any time sold my body or any portion thereof for any reason whatsoever. Especially not for home use.
Have you ever done any gardening?
I just wanted to make that clear.
Gardening?
What's that?
Have you done any gardening?
I grew a fungus once.
Next. I've looked over your resume. It says you wore Jacques Cousteau's pants on a hike through Yosemite National Park. That's correct. They didn't smell a bit of fish. All my friends warned me that I'd be miserable the whole trip. But I promised my mother on her deathbed that I'd do it. It turned out to be rather pleasant. What do you know about gardening? Gardening? Oh, I know lots about gardening. I've been gardening my whole life. Thank goodness. Shoot, I've planted more things than I can count, I'm sure. Some of them even grew. I planted T.S. Eliot's glasses, Audie Murphy's socks, skid rubber from the Enola Gay, 3 of Leon Spinks's teeth. You have to plant those in mounds, you know, in a pen that was in the same package as the one that Ginsberg used to write the first 3 lines of Howl. I even planted one of Nixon's Watergate tapes that I found for $3 at a swap meet. You know, it grew a cucumber that actually looked a lot like the former president. And I discovered that with an electric charge in the stem, the cucumber would play the lost 18 minutes. You don't say. One time I planted one of Howard Cosell's toupees and had a blooming crop of Green River seedless watermelons the next afternoon. Really? Didn't water them or nothing. Just stuck one of them plant spikes in the ground and the next day, bam. There they were. Next. Do you know anything about gardening?
No, but if you hum a few bars.
Ah.
Good evening and welcome to Conversations with my gardener. Tonight my gardener is Alba. Hello, Alba.
Hello, Neil.
And you are my gardener, correct?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been my gardener?
Since about 5:30.
Do you enjoy your job?
Love it.
What was it that led you to gardening?
Oh, my father had a garden. I always had to mow the lawn. I like vegetables.
I don't care much for asparagus.
That's not uncommon.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
He's got a knife.
I can hoe. I can hoe.
Well, that's all we have time for. Have a good evening and happy gardening.